Okay, so this is session 3 or part 3 of like the loan payment video series or whatever you want to call it. This is the last part because this is where I'm actually going to go into details on how I actually came up with the money to pay off my loans. Okay, so in part 2 we talked about budgeting and how to create a budget, and I actually went over a budget that I made for somebody else to help them pay off their loans, and how you can pretty much mimic the exact same thing. If you don't feel like doing it yourself, you can contact me. I'll be more than happy to do one for you, but I'd rather you do it yourself so you can learn. So now we're going to talk about what I did to pay off my loans. Grab a glass of wine because I am going to throw a lot of information at you, okay? So what did I do first? The first thing I did to pay off my loans was get a freaking job, okay? So I have a regular job. I work 36 hours a week. When I got out of nursing school, my goal was to make at least $30 an hour. I refused to accept any offers that was under $30 an hour. And some people may say, oh, well, you're a new grad, you can't really be picky, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, I'm a new grad, but I also have standards and I have goals, and I want to achieve those goals. So if it meant I have to wait a little bit longer to get those, then I will, okay? Plus, you get about 6 months to start paying off your loans after you graduate anyway, so I didn't want to rush into the first offer just because, okay? That's how people end up hating their jobs. So I set my goal was to at least, I wouldn't accept anything less than $30 an hour, just based on my expenses that I was planning on spending. So that was that. And when you actually go for a job interview, they ask you like, what is your, what salary do you want? And usually when I went for interviews, I told them $35 an hour. Just based on like just being new, I said $35 an hour, and sometimes they will, if they offered me, if that was too high for them, then I'll go down to 30. So I still got to get what I want, and the company still got to get what they wanted. So I did not want to accept anything lower than $30 an hour. So that was that. So what did I do to make an extra $1,000 to $2,000 an hour? So the first thing I did was I picked up a shit ton of overtime. Like I'm talking about working 14 nights in a row, 10 nights in a row, doing 12-hour shifts just to make the extra money to pay off this loan, okay? I did not say this thing was going to be easy, first of all, okay? This was going to be, if you think, you know what, this was not easy at all, okay? And if anybody that said it was easy to pay off $70,000 in 3 years, they're lying to you, because I literally put my blood, sweat, and tears into this process the last 3 years, okay? If you're looking for some magic formula, some get-rich-quick scheme or way to make your everything disappear, this is not the video for you, because you need to be dedicated, you need to be motivated to get out of debt, and you need to be committed, or you are not going to be successful. I'm going to literally tell you exactly what I did to make my dreams come true, okay? My dream was to be debt-free in 3 years, and that's exactly what I did. So the first step, like I said, I picked up a lot of overtime. There's a lot of nurses out there that don't do overtime. That's great for them because they're like older and they're like making like $60 an hour, so they don't need it. Whatever. I'm like, wasn't making much, so I needed as much overtime as possible to pay off my loans. I was willing to go to other units. Okay, I am an ICU nurse, but I went to med surg units to pick up time whenever there was no time available on my unit. Some nurses won't do that. So a lot of ICU nurses would not go to med surg unit. But I mean, I started off on med surg, so I wasn't afraid of it. Whenever I needed extra cash, med surg, I called the nursing office and I'm like, hey, you guys got any extra time for me? I'm trying to do some overtime. It wasn't hard. You know, there's like a shortage of nurses, so it wasn't not hard to get overtime at all. So get a lot of overtime, because, you know, like overtime is like time and a half. So you're like doubling your money. You'd end up paying more taxes, but you double your money. And that was my first thing I did, was pick up a lot of overtime. And that's it. It's simple. It's literally that simple. Pick up overtime if you have time. Granted, I wasn't able to pick up overtime every time because I was in school. especially in 2017, that's when I really took this journey very seriously. I was in 2017. I started a nurse practitioner school. I was in clinicals 3 days a week. I had class 1 day a week, and then I was working my regular shift 3 days a week. So I literally, my whole week was packed. I had no time to pick up overtime. So only time I was able to pick up overtime was during summer breaks. Even during summer break, mind you, my program is supposed to be 5 years, but I did it in 3 years because I'm freaking crazy as hell. I did it in 3 years while working full time because 5 years just sounded too long to me. I'm very impatient. If you haven't known, I'm very impatient. So, during the summertime, I had summer classes, but a lot of the summer classes online. So I was just doing my assignments online, and I picked up overtime during the time that I didn't have to physically be there. So that's what I did. All the extra money that I made from working overtime went to paying off my loans. I'm telling you, like any extra penny, dollar that came my way went towards my loans. The next step was a side hustle, okay? If you're creative, if you have any special skills, if you know how to braid, you're very artsy, just like anything, you can pretty much turn anything into a business nowadays, especially with the internet at your disposal. You can turn anything into a side hustle. So, because I'm in a doctoral program, because I'm interested in teaching higher ed in the future. Like I want to teach nursing students. So I figured this would be a great way for me to get my feet wet in teaching. So I decided to tutor students. So I literally, this is what I did. I put an ad out on Craigslist for a nurse tutor. I put an ad in, it was free. I didn't pay anything for it. And I put an ad on Facebook Marketplace for RN tutor. So literally I was just like, whatever, I'm just throwing out in the universe and we'll see. So my side hustle was tutoring. Okay. So the lowest I charged was $20 an hour, like in person. I mean, not in person, online. I did online sessions and also in-person session. I literally just had them meet me. I didn't want them to come to my house. I met them at my student faculty center. I signed them in. They came in and we did our session in person there if they wanted to see me face to face. And that was about $30 an hour. And then if they wanted to do like a Zoom chat or online, that was $20 an hour. So it was a lot cheaper. So I literally went online and I made these like non-fancy like business cards, like it says my name on there, and I'm gonna cover my phone number because I don't want people calling me. So I made these like free, these business cards were free, guys. Like there are so many free resources out there. I made free business cards that I would give out to nursing students whenever I saw them at my hospital. Like there's a lot of nursing students that come to my hospital. I gave these business cards out to them, and then with the ad from Facebook and Craigslist, I had people texting and messaging me and calling me to tutor them. So that's what I did. That was $30 an hour. I was trying to do like, I didn't really have too much time, so usually I would just do like one session a day, or it all depends like how many people needed me. Most of my students were LPN students that needed help with studying for NCLEX or passing their exams. I'm very good with like taking exams, so I help them pass their exam. Like some people, like a lot of my students were like, oh, I wish I would have like contacted you sooner. So that was my side hustle. So if you have any creative skill, or even if you're like a physical therapist, occupational therapist, like anything in the medical field, you can do so much with it. You can like pretty much have your own business, do a private duty physical therapy session with private clients and get that extra money and still work for like a big name hospital on the next day. So the second, a side hustle. Everybody needs a side hustle. So I got a side hustle to come up with extra money. The third thing I did was I drove Uber. Yeah. Believe it or not, I did. Okay. I literally, you guys don't understand. Like I wanted this so bad. Like I wanted to finish paying my loans off so badly. I would do anything. Well, not anything. Like, there's a lot of things I want to do, but like anything that's morally correct. I would do that to achieve my goal. So I wanted to give driving Uber a chance. So I actually borrowed my fiance's car and I drove Uber for like maybe 2 weeks. It's actually like, if you like new to a town and you want to get to know people, Uber is a really good way to do that because people are pretty friendly. People are really friendly. So I drove Uber for 2 weeks. I didn't really like it. It wasn't really for me. I felt awkward. Yeah. And most of the time I will drive from work and then pick up people on my way home. So it wasn't really inconvenient because I wasn't going out of my way. So it worked out that way, but I didn't like it at all. I didn't like being in a car that long. So I didn't do that for too long. That was only for 2 weeks. I don't know if I would even count that, but any extra money the $200, I put $50 to pay for the gas that I wasted driving people around. And then the $150, I made a payment towards my student loans. So even like any little amount of money that you can come up with to pay off your loans will help. I don't care what anybody say, even $1 will help. Okay. So that's what I did. That was the second thing I did. Besides my side hustle, that was the second thing I did, was driving Uber. You can drive Lyft, whatever, any rideshare, it doesn't matter. Just do something. The third thing was I got rid of my car. My car was a liability to me, okay? A liability is anything that takes money away from your pocket. And I don't know unless you're renting out your car or using it for Uber, most people's cars are a liability, okay? So my car was a liability. It was breaking down all the time. I was paying a lot of things to fix it on it. I was paying car insurance. I had to renew my registration every year. It was just too much. I got tired of it. It was old. It was like the first car I ever bought coming out of high school. So, I mean, I was really happy. It was an old car. So it actually got into a car accident. Well, I didn't get into a car accident. Somebody hit me and then it was totaled. So the insurance company gave me an option to either go to like the authorized mechanic to fix it, or I can just take the money and they will take the car off my hands. I took the money. So I took the money because the car, like I said, it wasn't making any money for me. So they gave me, I think, $4,000 for it. You know what I did with that $4,000? Yes, you guessed it. I put it towards my loans. I put that $4,000 towards my loans. If you remember from part 1, I had a $6,000 loan with a 4.5 interest rate. I made like 2 chunk payments towards that loan, and I was able to take $4,000 off it. So I think I had like maybe $2,000 something left of it. So that brought down my payments. So if you have a car that's giving you a headache, get rid of it. Like, it's not having a car is not the end of the world. I literally took the bus, the train, and Uber and Lyft everywhere for the last 3 years. Yes, I took mostly because when I bought my house, I was closer to a bus station than the subway station. So I've been taking the bus for the last 3 years. Since 2017, I've been taking the bus or some type of public transportation to work. And I've never had a problem. I got to work on time. I did have to wake up a little bit earlier just to make sure I met the time, I could get to work on time, but it was cheap. It was cheap. I saved so much money. I had an extra $100 in my pocket from paying insurance and gas to put towards my loan. So like really my goal was to just find ways to bring in money so I can pay these off. So this, like I said, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. Like, this is not magic. I didn't get anybody just throw money at me. Like, this is me just trying to figure out what I could do to make more money. That's it. My third thing that I did was to use my income tax return. So my income tax return was actually made the biggest impact on me paying off my loans. Every year you have to file an income tax return if you have a job. Well, I remember like in high school, I would get like $500 or $1,000 back, and I would automatically put it in my savings account, and then I'll spend it later on like clothes and stuff and like just like random things and spend it. But now that I have a big girl job, I used my income tax return to actually pay off my student loans. income, I mean, if you're getting an income tax return, it means you're paying too much during the regular year. You're not taking in your money throughout the year, so you get it at the government essentially is holding on to it, and they're giving it back to you at the end of the year. If you are getting all your income during the year, you shouldn't really be getting any money back at the end of the year. But I didn't really care. As long as my taxes were paid, I will let Uncle Sam keep whatever at this time. I know a lot better now. So in the past, that was my thing, but now I know better. So the goal is actually not to pay anything, not to owe the government anything, not to get anything back. But for me, when I started, it was hard for me to save money. So having that income tax return come in February was like a bonus. So in 2000, like I said, my road to financial freedom didn't really start until 2017. So for my 2016 income tax return, I think I got like maybe like $1,000. I used that $1,000 to put towards my loans. I made a payment and put towards my loans. And then when 2017 came around, I bought a house in December of 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20. I bought a house in 2017. So in 2018, when I did my income tax return, I actually got more back because of the interest that I paid on my house that I bought. I believe I actually got $6,000 back in 2018, and I used that money to put towards my loans. So this $6,000, I literally just made a one chunk, I actually divided it into two, made a chunk payment towards my loans, and that brought down the amount. And then, so I just kept repeating this. I would tutor. Well, I would tutor whenever I got a chance, pick up overtime, any chance that I got to bring up extra income. And then every year I counted on my tax return. I knew I would get at least $3,000 every year. And that was put towards my student loans every single time. So, I mean, this is all I did. Literally, I don't know anything. I didn't get money from any family members. My mom didn't give me money. My mom works, she works minimum wage job. She couldn't even afford to give me money, even if she wanted to. So I pretty much you got to get creative. You have to be creative if you really, really, really want this bad enough, okay? So being creative is very important, and coming up. There's so many ways to make money in this world now. The internet, you could literally Google anything you want on the internet. So many resources out there to make extra income every year. I believe using the skills that you earn in college or the degrees that you have to supplement your income is great. I know physical therapists, occupational therapists that do private duty care with private clients to supplement their regular income. So they have a regular job on the side, and then on the weekends they'll see private clients and charge them whatever they want, and they pay cash and they make extra money. So there is so much ways to make money out there. There's enough money out there for everybody. So these are just the things that I did. This is what I did to make money. I was tutoring a lot, at least once a week. I was picking up overtime any chance I got. I was working at least 5 days a week, okay? 12-hour shifts, 5 days a week. I'm still doing that even now. I'm working 5 days a week. Whenever I cut out a lot of expenses out of my budget. The first one was getting rid of my car. I got rid of my insurance. I didn't have to pay gas anymore. I didn't sign up for a gym because Lord knows I was not going to go. I go to the gym. Well, my gym is in my house, okay? I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I do the workouts every day, and I'm done. I don't need to pay $30. And most people have gym membership and don't even go to the gym. So they're wasting all this money. So I didn't pay for a gym membership. I work out at home. I go to rugby practice. I play rugby. That's how I stay fit. I make my lunch every day. Well, not every day. 4 days out of the week, really, I make my lunch. My diet really is rice. I eat rice like every single day, rice or fufu, African food, like every day. So I'll make a huge batch of food for the week, and then I'll just like take them to work like every single day. So that save food. I save money on food by buying in bulk. I go to Costco's, I go to BJ's, to buy in bulk to save money. I mean, there's so many ways, so many things I did to save money just in food alone. Like, if you guys want a video on that, I can do like a separate video just on what I did to save money on just food. I kept my basic internet cable. I don't have like Hulu account. I don't have a Netflix account. Mikey does, and so we use his, of course. Like, if you know a friend that has a user account, save yourself some money. Yeah, so saving food, like a lot of my cost was food. I eat like me and Mikey went out every other weekend because I work every other weekend. So whenever I make sure I save up for the weekend. Like, we have date nights, and I make up that date night by working extra shifts. So like everything, all the money that I spend on everything is accounted for. So you need to know where your money is going, okay, in order to be successful in anything, okay? If you don't know where your money is going, then there's no point, okay? Like, you need to like sit down and really analyze your finances. What are you spending your money on every month, okay? Go through your bank statements. I use my credit card for almost everything because I have a 3% cash back on it. But I keep my monthly balance. I try not to spend $1,600 a month. I use that credit card to pay for my phone bill. I use it to pay for food. Anything that I can get cash back on, I use my credit card. But before I do that, I make sure that money is in my checkings account. So when it's time to pay the bill, I can pay the whole thing off every month. So I can go on forever about how to utilize your credit card to your best interest and actually make money from using a credit card. So credit cards are very good if you know how to use it properly. I wouldn't recommend it if you're like, don't know how to control yourself. Don't use a credit card. So yeah, so this is exactly what I did. Like, I could go on for days about saving money because, I mean, like, I grew up poor. I wouldn't say poor, but I wasn't rich. I wouldn't even say middle class. We made enough to get by, okay? If I had not gotten scholarships for my first degree, my student loans would be a lot higher than $70,000, okay, first of all. But my first degree in biology, luckily, I was able to go to school for practically free. So I didn't pay anything. I didn't have any loans for that. All of these loans came from nursing school because it's a second degree, and there really is no grant for second degree. So I was forced to take out a loan for living expenses and also for tuition. And then I made sure that my doctorate degree I wouldn't take out any loans for that. So I made sure that I went to a school that I can get reimbursed for. I can go into details about all of this stuff. But anyways, this is everything I did to pay off my loans in 3 years. Pick up the whole bunch of overtime. Okay, overtime. I had a side hustle tutoring, and like this is like my card that I handed out to students. I'm not even kidding. I got this card for free online. Like, you could literally get free business cards made online for you. This is what I used, okay? And I handed it to random people I didn't even know, and I was able to get business through that. I wouldn't even consider the Uber thing because I didn't even do that I only did that for 2 weeks. And then income tax return. Use your income tax return because it's not money that you're counting on. For me, I see it as a bonus, even though it's really not, because it's your money that you didn't get during the year. And that's what helped me. This is literally what I did. This is it. I don't have anything more to tell you. This is all I did. So get out there. Start working on your loans, start working on your debt, become debt free, become financially free. It's really doable, but you have to have the mentality and the motivation to want to get it done. So if you need help making your budget, go to watch part 2 of the video. If you still need help, you can contact me or make a comment, whatever, you can contact me and I'll be more than happy to help you. But this is it. So take it with a grain of salt. Do what works for you. And I'm wishing everybody good luck on their endeavors and whatever you want to do in the future. Cheers.